I did forget to put the post up. He reminded me. I haven't put the Tom Glennon one up yet either.
You know what? It was like a couple of days ago. I went to lower the blinds in the evening, and I saw the moon right in front of me, and I thought,
It's nearly full.
something is not right here. Because I'm like, it's the middle of the month, like it's just mid month. It's like, no, it can't be, but it can.
There seems to have been so much going on this month. It's just. Oof.
At least it feels longer. Last month was just trash for me.
Was there?
Okay.
There's Sekashi skulking in the shadows.
The king of backlighting.
I know. I know.
This is as it should be. Um, I have a technical difficulty, Goku.
Okay.
I don't know where the I don't know where the chant book. I don't know where the chants are.
Ah.
I have a chant book. Like I literally keep all these in a book, and they're not there. So I'm gonna go wander around and move books and stare forlornly and things and see if I can find it.
Can't find it at school.
I can always send you the PDF, and you can like work with the computer. See how that works for you.
See, I took a leaf from Sekashi's book because I saw he had a big, like, lever arch file full of all the. So I was like, that's a brilliant idea because I had mine just in lots of things.
He's also got like the wooden stand, which is something I really want to get as well. But he's just fancy. He's like he works with the fancy stuffs.
Hi, Jinkan. You ready for the bass solo?
You're muted.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
We should do that at some point. Just like now, it's time for the bass.
I have to practice my slapping. Just
Exactly. The Heart Sutra, funk style.
We should definitely come up with one of our dances. Like, we have the hokey pokey with this. Could be something else.
Hi, Kiri.
I actually got a new baby right here. It's a Gibson, like a Les Paul Jr.
Whoa. Nice.
It's probably the deepest sounding bass I've ever had.
I love you want to have a go at the bass. Just that. It's really nice. It's that deep sound.
It's people think that like guitar players, I like guitar players, they like the solos part of it. They don't really like playing the chord bits and stuff. But bass, it's all solos basically. You're all doing arpeggios and stuff like that. So
You found it.
I did. I don't. It was. We have this like set of shelves at the top of the stairs, and it's like if you have something to go downstairs, you put it on the shelves so that you carry it downstairs next time you go down. Or like anyway, it was there on the shelf. Like I don't know why it left this room. I must have like wandered off last. Like do 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 do.
What do you call it? The Great Mystery?
Yes, it was just the great mystery in motion.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, Smarty Pants.
Beyond's notifications are on. Would you still like to send your message?
We have a shelf like that. Whenever I ask my kids to take something from somewhere to somewhere, it normally ends up at the shelf. Like,
The shelf
yeah,
holding.
the shelf, leave it, go off and do something else, and the thing stays there. Anyway, hi Shernan. Shernan. Ask. I asked you how to pronounce it last time, and then immediately forgot.
It's all right. I say it wrong, so everybody else can. Shannon, in my world. Simple.
Lovely.
I'm going to keep the video off because I'm having some broadband issues. And
That's
I'd rather.
completely fine.
Thank you.
Well, hello, everyone. And welcome to this April full moon ceremony for Ryaku Fusatsu. And it probably hasn't escaped your notice that it's Easter tomorrow as well. So all the holidays are lining up. And I'm guessing Passover was probably around here somewhere as well. I don't really know. But anyway, we're gathering as we normally do each month on the full moon in order to reflect on our conduct and recommit to our 16 Mahayana Zen precepts. So this month I've got a reading by a female Zen priest from Japan, Shundo Ai. Again, my pronunciation of all names is terrible. Is it Oyama? Anyway. So I really like this little book. I think there's a later version of it, but it's just called Zen Seeds. It's just little chapters of reflections on Zen practice. And this one's called Self-Restraint. In the presence of others, we try to behave sensibly and modestly. But when we are alone, we may do ridiculous things which show what we are really like. Although we think we're alone, the Buddha is watching, the gods are watching, heaven is watching, and another self within us is watching. If we do something good when no one is looking, we often wish to be praised or recognized, and we go around telling people what we've done. If we are not appreciated or are slandered, we can be disappointed and feel that what we have done is less worthwhile. When we have done something bad, we can be afraid that others may find out, and so we try our best to hide it. If we've managed to hide it, it can even feel like we have gained something. However, deceiving others is quite easy, and their opinions are often quite baseless. As long as we let the viewpoint of others serve as the measure of our acts, our lives can be wasted. Moreover, we may do things only in accordance with other people's opinions, but the fact of our actions remains a fact, and that will eternally make up one page of our life, serving as either a positive or a negative factor in the formation of our character. Whether good or bad, whatever we do remains a fact, and that does not increase or diminish in value according to the praise or blame of others. It becomes a karmic force which accompanies us. In this way, our personality is unfailingly shaped by all our acts. Undisturbed by praise or censure, and taking that universal truth to heart, we can fervently wish to act always with prudence, whether somebody is watching or not. This ardent desire is accomplished through self-restraint. Because I know that for me, this is often extremely difficult to do. I keep these words firmly in mind and try to be very careful with each day. So, let us begin. Just to note, since my mobility is impaired, I will be making the motions of walking, although conducting the ceremony from the seated position. And as Beyond gets up, I will also remind you there will be prostrations at the end of the incense offering. Before continuing with the ceremony, we'll just sit zazen for a short period, just to bring ourselves into this place here and now. The great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha, and they were received by ancestor after ancestor. Our great master, Gautama Buddha, transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakasyapa. Master Mahakasyapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda, and the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line. Now we reaffirm our commitment to the precepts to return the profound benevolence of Gautama Buddha. We trust this to be the true reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life. Respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha, we would like to devote ourselves to the precepts, beginning with atoning for past misdeeds. And we all recite the verse of atonement 3 times. And if you wish, you can do a full prostration or a gasho at the end of each recital. So, verse of atonement. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. As symbolic of the way of the Bodhisattva and the pure embodiment of the precepts, we now invoke the presence, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Homage to the 7 Buddhas of the past as symbols of our connection through time. Homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of this earth. Homage to Miroku Buddha, symbol of hope for the future. Homage to Monju Bodhisattva, symbol of great wisdom. Homage to Fugan Bodhisattva, symbol of great activity. Homage to Kanzeon Bodhisattva, symbol of great compassion. Homage to the successive generations of ancestor Bodhisattvas. In line with inviting the presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we now recite the 4 Bodhisattva vows ourselves, as we normally do, 3 times. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. Now, I hope you've brought your bowls of water and your pieces of greenery, but if you haven't, you can just mime it or use your fingers if you have the bowl. And as normal, we symbolically, after atoning, we symbolically purify ourselves, and in order to have a clean slate ahead for this month. And we either dip our fingers or a piece of greenery in the water bowl. We flick it against our forehead 3 times. If you don't have the water or the greenery, you can just mime doing this. It's purely symbolic. So. And having done that and recited the Bodhisattva vows, we can begin afresh and recommit to the precepts for the next month ahead. As is traditional, I will recite from the Brahmajala Sutra. And after this first line, we join hands in Gasho. All you disciples of the Buddha, join your palms in reverence and listen wholeheartedly. I would now like to articulate the preface to the great precepts of the Buddhas. The members of the Sangha will listen, and they know they have done wrong. They will atone. If they atone, then they will be at ease. Without repentance, their wrongdoing will grow more grievous. Those of us who have done wrong are silent. And because of our silence, you should know that we are purified. Members of the Sangha, listen well. In this age when the lifetime of the Buddha can seem long distant, you should revere the Pratimoksha. The Pratimoksha is none other than these precepts. When you observe these precepts, it is like darkness meeting with light. It is like someone poor attaining a treasure It is like someone who is sick being healed. It is like a prisoner being released from his chains, like a traveler able to return home. You should know that these precepts are the great teacher for this Sangha, no different from the presence of the Buddha in the world here and now. Taking the precepts, thoughts of fear are difficult to produce. Unwholesome thoughts are difficult to give rise to. A sutra says, do not trivialize minor misdeeds as if they are not problematic. Drops of water, although tiny, will gradually fill a large basin. A single instant of wrongdoing can lead you into a hell of uninterrupted suffering. Once you lose this human body, you may not get another for 10,000 kalpas. Just as a galloping horse passes by swiftly, one's physical strength will not remain. The transience of human life goes beyond the mountains and seas. Even if something remains for the duration of one day, it can be difficult to hold on to tomorrow. Members of the Sangha should energetically advance their own minds. Be careful not to be lazy, negligent, drowsy, or arbitrary. In the evening, you must gather your thoughts and focus them firmly on the three treasures. Don't take as being a waste of effort and time, deepening your repentance. Members of the Sangha, each of you in your own mind should carefully rely on these precepts. Discipline yourselves in the practices that accord with the Buddha's teachings. And as Shundo Oyama was saying in the beginning passage, when we maintain the precepts, it doesn't matter whether anyone is watching or not. The precepts are something we maintain for ourselves and for the good of all beings, not because they improve our reputation or bring us praise. So we now recommit to the 16 Mahayana Zen precepts, beginning with the 3 refuges. Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha, devotion to Buddha, the Supreme One, devotion to Dharma, the supreme purity and teaching, devotion to Sangha, the supreme community, perfect devotion to Buddha, perfect devotion to Dharma, perfect devotion to Sangha. And we continue with the 3 pure precepts. Today we reaffirm our commitment to seek as I can in this body and life to avoid doing harm, to seek as I can in this body and life to live in a healthful and helping way, doing good, to seek as I can in this body and life to live for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then we recommit to the 10 fundamental precepts. Today we reaffirm our commitment to seek as I can in this body and life to refrain from the killing of life, to seek as I can in this body and life, to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from false and malicious speech, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from intoxication in its many forms, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from praising myself and judging others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from all anger, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from disparaging the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Abiding in this ephemeral world, may we exist in muddy water with purity like a lotus. Nothing escapes the boundless mind. Thus we bow to Buddha.
Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reaffirming our commitments to the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, to the all-pervading and everlasting three treasures, to all arhats and bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, and their relations throughout the Dharma worlds. May our sincere vows to accomplish and live the enlightened way be realized together. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, maha prajna paramita.
Lovely. Thank you, Sekoshi. And thank you all for coming, everyone here and everyone who might be watching the streaming on YouTube. Thank you. Always appreciate you coming for this full moon ceremony. It means a lot. So very grateful. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I believe we have the Sunday sit with Washin as normal tomorrow. Is there a tea house tomorrow as well, Sekoshi? Tea house as well tomorrow, and Tonglen. So whatever you're doing for Easter, there's loads happening at Tree Leaf Zendo. So see you around there. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, hopefully see you at something soon. Take care.